And these are the names of the men who shall assist you.
Good luck.
From Reuben, Elizur, the son of Shedeur. From Simeon.
Sorry. Right off the bat, just shitter.
The funny thing is when I'm reading it, it doesn't click like that.
Yeah.
So Jesus comes from the line of Judah, right? And I think it's interesting that that is the company that is to set out first.
I know. I thought that too when we were reading through.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
also, it does say, Jesus says many times, the whoever will be last will be first, and whoever will be first will be last in the kingdom of heaven, right?
Yeah, right.
He's saying the opposite of Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last.
It felt great outside today for us.
Congratulations, not being in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was fun. We took the kids to this little there's this place called We Rock the Spectrum, and they did like an event today. There was a bunch of people there. They had like, this pizza truck there, a bunch of different stuff for the kids to do, like little crafts and popsicles. Dude, Noah and Grayson had a blast. They were blowing a huge thing of bubbles. Like they had this huge like gun type of thing set up and a big trash can full of soapy water. And they were
nice.
blowing bubbles. Dude. It was like snowing bubbles. It was awesome. Kids loved it. So they had fun doing that. And then when we got home, we let them play outside. We kind of built like a little water park type thing for them. There's this thing we bought at Walmart for like $20, and it just kind of sprays water, and still got a little kiddie pool that we fill up. And so we have like a little water park in our driveway.
Did you make them a little slip and slide?
No, we haven't done that yet, but I want to.
They're gonna love that. You're gonna love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever do it when were you ever there when we built a slip and slide into the canals? With like
I never did that with you guys.
Yeah, we used to take those like little plastic like bicycle ramps that they used to sell at Walmart? We would put those at the edge of the canal, like seawall, and then we'd like build the slip and slide and then just boom.
That's right awesome, dude. That would have been so much fun.
It was fun, man. It kind of hurt, but it was fun. Yeah. We did it in the sketchiest canal ever too. It wasn't like we didn't do it at my house. We did it at my friend's house, and it was the sketchiest canal we could have done it in. There's like gators everywhere up in that canal.
Oh. Well, the good thing is usually like with all the noise and splashing, they'll avoid that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we're Florida men,
Yeah.
And you're still a Florida man at heart, even though you don't live here anymore.
Yes, sir. I sure am. I would love to go back.
No, it is hot as crap right now, dude. Like I have the spray cannon for my car, and I would spray it on there, and then within like a minute, the soap would be dried already.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it was so fast.
That's why it took you 2 hours instead of 1?
Well, no, because I did a lot of detailing work on it. Like I waxed it. It was only the spray wax, but still, like I did the waxing. I did like a deep clean on the tires, then foamed the tires and everything like that. So it was like a nice detailed clean that I've been neglecting to do for a while.
Yeah.
Been really productive this week around the house, just getting all the stuff that I need to get done. Like I think I've pretty much done everything inside except for mop. Swept up the house, cleaned all the like furniture, like dusted off all the furniture, did like every laundry that you could think of. I even like washed the couch covers. Like I took those off and like washed those.
Nice.
Feels good getting everything cleaned up and nice.
I know, like before you do this stuff, you're like, I don't want to do it. You're like, I'd rather just do something more fun.
Yeah.
Like play games.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something. Scroll on your phone.
On the mind the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Rather, washing on my car, I'd rather play Minecraft.
Yeah. But it's funny because as soon as you start doing it, you're like, I feel way better now.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. I was listening to some podcasts too while doing it. I was listening to Tim Albertino, I think you say his name. Really cool stuff.
Interesting. We were just listening to some worship music outside while the kids were playing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tim Alberino, I think is his name, actually. He's been on a few like famous podcasts. He was on the Deep End, which I know we've talked about before. He was on the
Mhm.
Michael Knowles podcast. He's a guy at the Daily Wire, but he investigates a lot of these like old ancient megalithic structures, and then also investigates like alien activity and stuff
Mm.
like that, and is very much like kind of the Enochian viewpoint of like there was like an ancient civilization before the flood, and there was a cataclysm like 13,000 years ago, like
Oh.
that kind of thought process. And he's a Christian. Yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because the video that I just posted, it's I think Leviticus part 3. We were talking about that exact thing, like stuff before the flood, or like when the
Yep.
land vomited the nations out before them.
Yep.
It was that kind of conversation.
It's such a cool area of study, man. It's definitely like
Yeah.
extracurricular, like kind of besides the point, but it just ties everything together like so well. If you believe
Yeah.
in the first book of Enoch, if you believe that that's real, at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to start diving in deeper into like the history of the book itself, like the Bible and all the books within it. I want to start digging more into that personally.
Dude, Wes Huff's channel was perfect for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I actually saw on our YouTube channel all the suggested stuff,
Mhm.
and Wes Huff came up a couple of times. There's a video that I have saved to watch later. It's not very long, but it was like I think it was like why I recommend using or not using the King James version or something like that, or like
I
what
sent
Bible
that
do you
video to you
prefer?
before.
Oh, okay.
Because it was like when we first started doing this, you're like, I want to read the King James version after like watching the Johnny Chang interview. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. No. I've definitely since changed my mind,
Yeah.
but it was something along those lines. I don't know if that was it exactly, but oh, speaking of Bibles, let's get into numbers here. Yeah,
Let's
it's
do
okay.
it. Yay.
Well, yay! Woo!
It's such a long one too.
I actually was reading the introduction to numbers, and there is something I wanted to point out that I found a little interesting. Nothing life changing, but it goes into the title of numbers. It comes from Greek, uh, arithmoi, kind of like arithmetics, but the better version of it is Hebrews, which says it actually gives a better summary of the contents. It's Bemidbar, which means in the wilderness. So
Mm.
apparently there's like a lot of numbers has to do with like them being in the wilderness and stuff. And they said it's kind of a better summary of what we're about to read.
Is
But
the Bidmar word like
Bemidbar,
in Hebrew?
yeah, that's the Hebrew um version. Yeah, sorry. I meant to preface that.
I mean, I kind of figured, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I want to start doing is like I want to start diving into certain books and like looking at like the Hebrew translations and maybe like maybe there's some websites or someone who like some videos or something where they can dive a little bit deeper into different chapters from each book or something like that. So,
There certainly is. Yeah, there's a website. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but you can put in the Bible verse and it'll give you like all the different translations and then it give you a quick synopsis of the translation and why it's translated in a certain manner.
hmm, cool.
Yeah, a lot of these guys that I've been I guess studying that kind of have this like divine council theory, kind of the more Enochian type beliefs.
Mhm.
Most of these guys can read Hebrew. I don't think
Oh,
Tim Alberino can, like the guy that I was just talking about, but like there's another one, Michael Heiser. He died recently, but he was really into this theory. And he would translate it. I think I might have even sent you a couple videos of his where he like goes through it, just even in like the opening of Genesis, like he has the first 3 verses of Genesis listed out. And he's like, here's why I think Genesis 1 through 3 was translated differently than what we actually think. And he's like, and I can say this because I know ancient Hebrew.
wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So but the ironic thing about that, I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but it was instead of now the earth was without form and void, it could just as equally be translated to now the earth became without form and void.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, that exactly ties into what we were talking about in that video I just posted. Yeah.
Right.
I think you
Mhm.
were looking for that to try to reference it, but you may not have remembered at that point
Yeah,
because
there's so many
you were
different
like, I'm
references.
gonna dive into it later and we'll go over it later.
We need to go over it. It's a
Yeah.
whole it's I've spent like countless hours at this point just like listening to people talk about it and then also reading about it. I mean there's a lot like that it hinges on, you know what I mean? Like you have to connect a lot of dots for it to make sense. It's not like very like evident, but once you start connecting the dots, you're like, "Oh."
Yeah. That's the stuff that I love though.
I know. That's kind of why it's fun reading through this Old Testament stuff because it's very eye opening if you look at it through different lenses, you know.
Right, right.
But
Well,
certainly looking at it through the divine counsel lens, I think is the most
oh,
interesting to me.
yes. Yeah. I know. I love those conversations and tangents we kind of get on about the other gods, the lowercase g gods.
Yeah, the fallen angels, the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, well, let's get started here.
All right.
Numbers 1. Yay, numbers.
Yay, numbers. Yay.
A census of Israel's warriors. The Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tent of meeting, on the first day of the second month, in the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take a census of all the congregation of the people of Israel, by clans, by fathers' houses, according to the number of names, every male head by head, from 20 years old and upward, all in Israel who are able to go to war. You and Aaron shall list them, company by company. And there shall be a man with you, a man from each tribe. Oh, and there shall be with you a man from each tribe, each man being the head of the house of his fathers. And these are the names of the men who shall assist you.
Good luck.
From Reuben, Elazar the son of Shedeur; from Simeon.
Sorry. Right off the bat, just shitter.
The funny thing is when I'm reading it, it doesn't click like that.
Yeah. Shidior.
Shedua.
Shidwa.
From Simeon, Shelemiel the son of Zurishaddai; from Judah, Nashon the son of Aminadab; from Issachar, Nathanael the son of Zuar; from Zebulun, Eliab the son of Helon; from the sons of Joseph; from Ephraim, Elishama the son of Amihud; and from Manasseh, Gamaliel the son of Pedazur; from Benjamin, Abidan the son of Gideoni; from Dan, Ahazar the son of Ammishaddai; from Asher, Pagiel the son of Akron; from Gad, Eliasaph the son of Duel; from Naphtali, Ahira the son of Enan. These were the ones chosen from the congregation, the chiefs of their ancestral tribes, the heads of the clans of Israel. That was awful.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh, well, thank you. Not that bad. Moses and Aaron. Huh?
No, go for it.
Moses and Aaron took these men who had been named, and on the first day of the second month, they assembled the whole congregation together, who registered themselves by clans, by fathers' houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, head by head, as the Lord commanded Moses. So he listed them in the wilderness of Sinai. The people of Reuben, Israel's firstborn, their generations, by their clans, by their fathers' houses, according to the number of names, head by head, every male from 20 years old and upward, all who were able to go to war. Those listed of the tribe of Reuben were 46,500. God dang. Could you imagine counting that many people?
No.
That's wild. Of the people of Simeon, their generations, by their clans, by their fathers' houses, those of them who were listed according to the number of names, head by head, every male from 20 years old and upward, all who were able to go to war, those listed of the tribe of Simeon were 59,300. Of the people of Gad, if you don't mind, I'm just going to skip the filler there. Of the people of Gad, there were
Huh?
45,650. You get what
Oh.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it
According to the
says the
number of
same
names.
thing
Years old.
every
Yeah,
single
yeah.
time. So of the people of Gad, those listed were 45,650. Of the people of Judah, those listed were 74,600. Of the people of Issachar were 54,400. Of the people of Zebulun were 57,400. Of the people of Joseph were 40,500. Of the people of Manasseh were 32,200. Of the people of Benjamin, there were 35,400. Of the people of Dan were 62,700. Of the people of Asher were 41,500. Of the people of Naphtali were 53,400. These are those who were listed, whom Moses and Aaron listed with the help of the chiefs of Israel, 12 men, each representing his father's house. So all those listed of the people of Israel by their father's houses from 20 years old and upward, every man able to go to war in Israel, all those listed were 603,550.
It's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people. I always wondered too, like, why is it so perfect? Like, it's exactly 53,400. It's not like 404. You know what I mean? They're probably like, just round it.
I mean,
Close
probably,
enough.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Levites exempted. But the Levites were not listed along with them by their ancestral tribe. For the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, only the tribe of Levi you shall not list, and you shall not take a census of them among the people of Israel. But appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of the testimony, and over all its furnishings, and over all that belongs to it. They are to carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings, and they shall take care of it, and shall camp around the tabernacle. When the tabernacle is to set out, the Levites shall take it down, and when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up. And if any outsider comes near, he shall be put to death. The people of Israel shall pitch their tents by their companies, each man in his own camp, and each man by his own standard. But the Levites shall camp around the tabernacle of the testimony, so that there may be no wrath on the congregation of the people of Israel. And the Levites shall keep guard over the tabernacle of the testimony. Thus did the people of Israel. They did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. It seems like they're prepping for war or
Well,
something.
yeah, it's coming.
They're trying to figure out how many they got in their ranks.
So do you
Right.
know what happens in the time to come with this?
Well, yeah, because I kind of read the introduction to Numbers, so it gave me an idea of what's going on. I know that they're getting ready to leave the wilderness to go take the promised land, essentially.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Do you know why God chose the Levites specifically to watch over the tabernacle?
So Moses and Aaron are from the tribe of Levi.
Okay.
So I don't know if it like ever really mentions it, other than like they're the leaders essentially, like that
Mhm.
that line. like Moses and Aaron are the leaders of pretty much this whole thing. So I
Right.
think it's just he's appointing that part of the family, just like Jesus came from the line of Judah, you know.
Right. Right.
So he just
Okay.
has specific functions for each line or each lineage.
That makes sense. So you can kind of like keep it in that clan. So that way, like that clan knows what their role is essentially.
Right. And I don't know if you remember, but like on one of the previous pods we had done, I had actually looked it up, and there apparently is still a like lineage of Aaron supposedly out there that
Hmm.
like claim to be the lineage of Aaron at least. So kind of
Right.
interesting
Right.
still to this day.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it'd be cool to like see some documents from these people that show like a family history, like family tree essentially.
Hmm.
Like whoever in their family has kept up with that. I think that'd be really cool to like see that type of documentation.
Yeah. It makes you wonder what was burnt during World War II, you know, how much
Mm,
history we lose during the burning of all those books.
right. Yeah, it's
Like
true.
not just from like the Israel standpoint, but like also just the Romans and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like how much knowledge was lost because of that.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
other than that, I don't really have anything to go back over.
No, I
And
don't either. It's a lot of people though. That's for dang sure.
it is a lot of people.
Just and I think what this is supposed to be roughly what 400 years after uh Jacob.
I think something like that.
Yeah. So a lot of kids.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
400 years. A lot of getting to it.
Yeah.
Numbers 2. Arrangement of the camp. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, the people of Israel shall camp each by his own standard, with the banners of their fathers' houses. They shall camp facing the tent of meeting on every side. Those to the camp on the east side toward the sunrise shall be of the standard of the camp of Judah by their companies, the chief of the people of Judah being Nashon, the son of Abnadab. His company, as listed, being 74,600. Those next to the camp to him shall be the tribe of Issachar, the chief of the people of Issachar being Nathanael, the son of Zuar, his company is listed being 54,400. When the tribe of Zebulun, the chief of the people of Zebulun being Eliab, the son of Helon, his company is listed being 57,400. All those listed of the camp of Judah by their companies were 186,400. They shall set out on the first of the march. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben by their companies. The chief of the people of Reuben, being Elazar, the son of Shidur, his company as listed being 46,500, and those to the camp next to him shall be the tribe of Simeon. The chief of the people of Simeon being Shalumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, his company as listed being 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad, the chief of the people of Gad being Eliasaph, the son of Reuel, is his company as listed being 45,650. All those listed at the camp of Reuben by their companies were 151,450. They shall set out second. Then the tent of meeting shall set out with the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camps. As they camp, so shall they set out, each in position, standard by standard. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim by their companies, and the chief of the people of Ephraim being Elishama, the son of Ammihud, his company is listed being 40,500. And next to him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, the chief of the people of Manasseh being Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. His company is listed being 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin, the chief of the people of Benjamin being Abidan, the son of Gideoni. His company is listed being 35,400. All those listed of the camp of Ephraim by their companies were 108,100. They shall set out third on the march. On the north side shall be the standard of the camp of Dan by their companies. The chief of the people of Dan being Ahazier, the son of Ammishaddai, his company as being listed being 62,700. And those in the camp next to him shall be the tribe of Asher. The chief of the people of Asher being Pagiel, the son of Akron, his company as listed being 41,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, the chief of the people of Naphtali, being Ahira, the son of Enan, his company as listed being 53,400. All those listed of the camp of Dan were 157,600. They shall set out last, standard by standard. These are the people of Israel as listed by their fathers' houses. All those listed in the camps by their companies were 603,550. But the Levites were not listed among the people of Israel as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus did the people of Israel according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So they camped by their standards, and so they set out, each one in his clan according to his father's house.
Super fascinating stuff, guys.
Prepping up for war, dude.
Yeah. The only thing that I found really interesting to point out in here is so Jesus comes from the line of Judah, right? And I think it's interesting that that is the company that is to set out first.
I know. I thought that too when we were reading through.
Yeah.
Or part of the
That's
company
pretty
that
cool.
gets set out first, right?
Yeah.
I wonder, if something like significant about that means something because Jesus comes first, right? So I wonder if in
Right.
the end times there has to be something with one of the last of the tribes that comes. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. What was the one that came last? Dan?
Well, there was a few of them. Dan was one of them. Naphtali. Asher. So Dan, Asher, and
Oh, yeah.
Naphtali.
Right. But it does say at the end of that, though, in verse 31, all those listed of the camp of Dan were 157,600. So that's putting them all together.
Okay.
So that's like the company of
Right.
Dan, I guess we could say. So,
Fascinating.
yeah, might be something to dive into a little bit later. Like, yeah, if Jesus came first, what happens? I mean, but he would be coming last too, though, right? Because he's supposed to come in on a. Are you saying in end times he comes first, like riding on the clouds? Or
Well,
are you
he's already
saying?
come first. All right.
Well, right, exactly,
The
but
coming
yeah, I don't.
of Jesus. Yeah. I don't know. It was just a theory. I don't even know like
Right,
verses to like compare that to. It's just a thought.
yeah. I was just trying to dive deeper into that thought, but maybe we
I
don't
know.
have.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that directly relates to that, but it's just fascinating.
Right.
But
Yeah, it is.
also, it does say Jesus says many times the whoever will be last will be first, and whoever will be first will be last in the kingdom of heaven. Right?
Yeah, right.
He's saying the opposite of Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah. Well, anyway, anything else you want to cover?
Nope.
Perfect. Cruising right along. Numbers 3, the sons of Aaron. These are the generations of Aaron and Moses at the time when the Lord spoke with Moses on Mount Sinai. These are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the anointed priests, whom he ordained to serve as priests. But Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord when they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai, and they had no children. So Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests in the lifetime of Aaron, their father.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild scene happening.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it kind of goes back to like you should fear God. They didn't seem to. They were like,
Yep.
hey, look, we got fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Duties of the Levites. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Bring the tribe of Levi near, and set them before Aaron and the priests, that they may minister to him. They shall keep guard over him and over the whole congregation before the tent of meeting, as they minister at the tabernacle. They shall guard all the furnishings of the tent of meeting, and keep guard over the people of Israel as they minister at the tabernacle. And you shall give the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They are wholly given to him from among the people of Israel. And you shall appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall guard their priesthood. But if any outsider comes near, he shall be put to death. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Behold, I have taken the Levites from among the people of Israel, instead of every firstborn who opens the womb among the people of Israel. The Levites shall be mine, for all the firstborn are mine. On the day that I struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated for my own all the firstborn in Israel, both of man and of beast. They shall be mine. I am the Lord.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Answer the question.
Yep. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, List the sons of Levi by fathers' houses and by clans. Every male from a month old and upward you shall list. So Moses listed them according to the word of the Lord, as he was commanded. And these were the sons of Levi by their names: Gershon and Kohath and Merari. And these are the names of the sons of Gershon by their clans: Libni and Shimei. And the sons of Kohath by their clans: Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uziel. And the sons of Merari by their clans: Mali and Mushi. These are the clans of the Levites. Of the Levites, I don't know why I keep doing that. These are the clans of
Levites,
the
beautiful
Levites
people.
by their fathers' houses. I don't think it matters, but for some reason it bothers me.
Yeah, just keep going. It doesn't matter.
To Gershon belonged the clan of the Libnites, and the clan of the Shemites. Sure, these were the clans of the Gershonites. Their listing, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, was 7,500. Wow. It's a lot less than the other ones.
Well, this is diving into the land of, or in the lineage of just like a few.
Aaron specifically,
Yeah. Well, and that one is
right?
just all the male.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
only referring to the Gershon, right? For the clan of the Libnites and the clan of the Shimeites.
But the other ones didn't have a number. Oh, they just listed them by names. I thought this would, never mind. It doesn't matter really. The clans of the Gershonites were to camp behind the tabernacle on the west, with Eliasaph, the son of Lael, as chief of the father's house of the Gershonites. And the guard duty of the sons of Gershon in the tent of meeting involved the tabernacle, the tent with its covering, the screen for the entrance of the tent of meeting, the hangings of the court, the screen for the door of the court that is around the tabernacle and the altar, and its cords, all the service connected with these. To Kohath belonged the clan of the Amramites, and the clan of the Israelites, and the clan of the Hebronites, and the clan of the Uzielites. These are the clans of the Kohathites, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward. There were 8,600 keeping guard over the sanctuary. The clans of the sons of Kohath were to camp on the south side of the tabernacle, with Elizaphan, the son of Uziel, as the chief of the father's house of the clans of the Kohathites. And their guard duty involved the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the vessels of the sanctuary with which the priests minister, and the screen, all the service connected with these. And Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, was to be chief over the chiefs of the Levites, and to have oversight of those who kept guard over the sanctuary. To Merari belonged the clan of the Malites and the clan of the Mushites. These are the clans of Merari. Their listing, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, was 6,200. And the chief of the father's house of the clans of Merari was Zuriel, the son of Abihail. They were to camp on the north side of the tabernacle. And the appointed guard duty of the sons of Merari involved the frames of the tabernacle, the bars, the pillars, the bases, and all their accessories, all the service connected with these. Also, the pillars around the court with their bases and pegs and cords. Those who were to camp before the tabernacle on the east before the tent of meeting toward the sunrise were Moses and Aaron and his sons, guarding the sanctuary itself to protect the people of Israel, and any outsider who came near was to be put to death. All those listed among the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron listed at the commandment of the Lord by clans, all the males from a month old and upward, were 22,000. Redemption of the firstborn. And the Lord said to Moses, list all the firstborn males of the people of Israel from a month old and upward, taking the number of their names. And you shall take the Levites for me. I am the Lord. Instead of all the firstborn among the people of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the cattle of the people of Israel. So Moses listed all the firstborn among the people of Israel, as the Lord commanded him, and all the firstborn males according to the number of names from a month old and upward, as listed, were 22,273. That's an exact number.
Yeah, no
I wonder
joke.
why they didn't like round that one versus the other ones.
Could have just landed perfectly. You never know.
Yeah. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the people of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of their cattle. The Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. And as the redemption price for the 273 of the firstborn of the people of Israel, over and above the number of the male Levites, you shall take 5 shekels per head. You shall take them according to the shekel of the sanctuary, the shekel of 20 gerahs, and give the money to Aaron and his sons as the redemption price for those who are over. So Moses took the redemption money from those who were over and above those redeemed by the Levites. From the firstborn of the people of Israel, he took the money, 1,365 shekels, by the shekel of the sanctuary. And Moses gave the redemption money to Aaron and his sons, according to the word of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. Oh,
Yeah,
was
right
so
there.
long. Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not just like lineages and like names over and over, you know?
Yeah.
Cruising along.
Yep.
Numbers 4. Duties of the Kohathites, the Gershonites, and the Merarites. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, take a census of the sons of Kohath from among the sons of Levi, by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, all who can come on duty to do the work in the tent of meeting. This is the service of the sons of Kohath in the tent of meeting, the most holy things. When the camp is to set out, Aaron and his sons shall go in and take down the veil of the screen and cover the ark of the testimony with it. Then they shall put it on. They shall put on it a covering of goat skin and spread on top of that a cloth of all blue and shall put in its poles. And over the table of the bread of the presence they shall spread a cloth of blue and put it on the plates and dishes for incense, the bowls and the flagons for the drink offering. The regular showbread also shall be on it. Then they shall spread over them a cloth of scarlet, and cover the same with a covering of goat skin, and shall put it in its poles. And they shall take a cloth of blue, and cover the lampstand for the light, with its lamps, its tongs, its trays, and all the vessels for oil with which it is supplied. And they shall put it with all its utensils in a covering of goat skin, and put it on the carrying frame. And over the golden altar they shall spread a cloth of blue, and cover it with a covering of goat skin, and they shall put in its poles. And they shall take all the vessels of the service that are used in the sanctuary, and put them in a cloth of blue, and cover them with a covering of goat skin, and put them on the carrying frame. And they shall take away the ashes from the altar, and spread a purple cloth over it. And they shall put on it all its utensils of the altar, which are used for the service there, the fire pans, the forks, the shovels, and the basins, all the utensils of the altar. And they shall spread it on a covering of goat skin, and they shall put in its poles. And when Aaron and his sons have finished covering the sanctuary and all the furnishings of the sanctuary, as the camp sets out, after that the sons of Kohath shall come to carry these. But they must not touch the holy things, lest they die. These are the things of the tent of meeting that the sons of Kohath are to carry. And Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, shall have charge of the oil for the light, the fragrant incense, the regular grain offering, and the anointing oil, with the oversight of the whole tabernacle and all that is in it, of the sanctuary and its vessels. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, "Let the tribe of the clans of the Kohathites be destroyed from among the Levites, but deal thus with them, that they may live and not die when they come near to the most holy things. Aaron and his sons shall go in and appoint them, each to his task and to his burden. But they shall not go in to look on the holy things, even for a moment, lest they die." The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take a census of the sons of Gershon also, by their fathers' houses and by their clans, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, and you shall list them, all who can come to duty to do service in the tent of meeting. This is the service of the clans of the Gershonites, in serving and bearing burdens. They shall carry the curtains of the tabernacle and the tent of meeting with its covering, and the covering of goat skin that is on top of it, and the screen for the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the hangings of the court, and the screen for the entrance of the gate of the court that is around the tabernacle, and the altar, and their cords, and all the equipment for their service. And they shall do all that needs to be done with regard to them. All the service of the sons of the Gershonites shall be at the command of Aaron and his sons, in all that they are to carry and all that they are to do. And you shall assign to their charge all that they are to carry. This is the service of the clans of the sons of the Gershonites in the tent of meeting, and their guard duty is to be under the direction of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. As for the sons of Merari, you shall list them by their clans and their fathers' houses. From 30 years old up to 50 years old, you shall list them, everyone who can come on duty to do the service of the tent of meeting. And this is what they are charged to carry as the whole of their service in the tent of meeting: the frames of the tabernacle with its bars, pillars, and bases, and the pillars around the court with their bases, pegs, and cords, with all their equipment and all their accessories. And you shall list them by name, the objects that they are required to carry. This is the service of the clans of the sons of Merari, the whole of their service in the tent of the meeting, under the direction of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. And Moses and Aaron and the chiefs of the congregation listed the sons of the Kohathites by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who could come on duty for service in the tent of meeting. And those listed by clans were 2,750. This was the list of the clans of all the Kohathites who served in the tent of meeting, whom Moses and Aaron listed according to the commandment of the Lord by Moses. Those listed of the sons of Gershon by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who could come on duty for service in the tent of meeting. Those listed by their clans and their fathers' houses were 2,630. This was the list of the clans of the sons of Gershon, all who served in the tent of meeting, whom Moses and Aaron listed according to the commandment of the Lord. Those listed in the clans of the son of Merari by their clans and their fathers' houses from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who could come on duty for service in the tent of meeting. Those listed by clans were 3,200. This was the list of the clans of the son of Merari, whom Moses and Aaron listed according to the commandment of the Lord by Moses. All those who were listed of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron and the chiefs of Israel listed by their clans and their fathers' houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who could come do the service of ministry and the service of bearing burdens and the tent of meeting. Those listed were 8,580. According to the commandment of the Lord through Moses, they were listed, each one with his task of serving or carrying. Thus they were listed by him as the Lord commanded Moses. Whew.
Wow.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Dude, I would be pissed if I were the sons of what would Kohath? How do you say that? Yeah, the Kohathites. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Kohathites. I'd be pissed, man. I have to do all the heavy lifting and I can't even talk to God. And if I try to, I die.
Yeah, right.
Like, come on, man. I guess it's still an
Yeah.
honor to carry it, but still.
Right.
It's like, hey, you got to do all this work for me, but you can't talk to me, you know?
Well, I
Lest
mean,
you.
I think that's an interesting point to bring up now too, because like I'm trying to figure out how I want to say it. Because like you said, like, I guess I should be grateful for just being able to carry those things. I think a lot of people like tend to struggle with that. I know I do myself, like as far as like when I hear other people say, like, yeah, God spoke to me and told me I needed to do this, or, um, like I got a message from God to do this, or that, he's helping me with this. And I'm like sitting over here, like, man, I feel like I've never like heard God. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to discern those voices in your head because to me, it just sounds like my internal voice all the time,
Right.
but at the same time, I should be grateful that I just get to wake up every day. I should be grateful that I have a beautiful family. You know what I mean? Like, should be grateful for these little things, even though we always want more. It always seems we want more. Maybe we should take a moment to sit down and appreciate what we do have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they're the closest people to God, really, in that sense, other than like the Levites. They have the
Right.
honor of like carrying these things that if they do set their eyes upon them would kill them. Right. But that does even say in the scripture, it's a burden, you know?
Right. Right.
Like, yeah, that's a really good point, though. Yeah. A little bit of
Yeah.
jealousy going on in there,
Hmm. Yep. Just count your blessings, man.
Yep.
It could be a lot worse.
Yep. Yeah, God could tell you to go sacrifice your son.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Um, I don't really have anything to cover there. Are you good?
No, yeah, other than the that's
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was just reading here too. The tasks of the Kohathites, but it just summarizes what we just read. But I was trying to read it to see if there was any interesting like details, but kind of just summarizing what we just read. So,
yeah.
all right, Numbers 5, unclean people. Oh, we're back to cleanliness here. Had enough of this in Leviticus.
Dude, when they started talking about the blue linens, like
Oh
blue
yeah,
cloth, I was like, oh no.
PTSD flashbacks.
Scarlet fine twine linens.
Uh, all right, unclean people. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, command the people of Israel that they put out of the camp of everyone who is leprous or has a discharge, and everyone who is unclean through contact with the dead. You shall put out both male and female, putting them outside the camp, that they may not defile their camp, in the midst of which I dwell. And the people of Israel did so, and put them outside the camp, as the Lord said to Moses. So the people of Israel did. Confession and restitution. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel. When a man or a woman commits any of the sins that people commit by breaking faith with the Lord, and that person realizes his guilt, he shall confess his sin that he has committed, and he shall make full restitution for his wrong, adding a fifth to it, and giving it to him to whom he did the wrong. But if the man has no next of kin to whom restitution may be made for the wrong, restitution for wrong shall go to the Lord for the priest, in addition to the ram of atonement, with which atonement is made for him. And every contribution, all the holy donations of the people of Israel, which they bring to the priest, shall be his. Each one keep his holy donations. Whatever anyone gives to the priest shall be his. A test for adultery. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel. If any man's wife goes astray and breaks faith with him, if a man lies with her sexually, and it is hidden from the eyes of her husband, and she is undetected, though she has defiled herself, and there is no witness against her, since she was not taken in the act, and if the spirit of jealousy comes over him, and he is jealous of his wife who has defiled herself, or if the spirit of jealousy comes over him, and he is jealous of his wife, though she has not defiled herself, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest and bring the offering required of her, a tenth of an ephah of barley flour. He shall pour no oil on it, and put no frankincense on it, for it is a grain offering of jealousy, a grain offering of remembrance, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthenware vessel, and take some of the dust that is on the floor of the tabernacle, and put it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, and unbind the hair of the woman's head, and place her hands on the grain offering of remembrance, which is the grain offering of jealousy. And in his hand the priest shall have the water of bitterness that brings the curse. Then the priest shall make her take an oath, saying, If no man has lain with you, and if you have not turned aside to uncleanliness while you were under your husband's authority, be free from this water of bitterness that brings the curse. But if you have gone astray, though you are under your husband's authority, and you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband has laid with you, then let the priest make the woman take the oath of the curse, and say to the woman, The Lord make you a curse and an oath among your people, when the Lord makes your thigh fall away and your body swell. May this water that brings the curse pass into your bowels and make your womb swell and your thigh fall away. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen.
He's making her
And
like fat, but then also like lose all voluptuousness in the thighs. Is that what it's saying?
I don't know. I'm a little confused. Just the way this whole thing is worded is
Your
we'll
thighs
break it
will
down
fall
more in the
away, and then you'll be bloated.
yeah. I don't know. Let's maybe do you want to read some of the notes for chapter 5 and see if you can dissect it a little bit?
Yeah. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to finish up?
Well, I'll finish reading. I was going to say I'll finish reading if you want to like just start
Yeah, I can pull it
looking
up.
into it. Ah. Then the priest shall write these curses in a book and wash them off into the water of bitterness. And he shall make the woman drink the water of bitterness that brings the curse. And the water that brings the curse shall enter into her and cause bitter pain. And the priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the grain offering before the Lord, and bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the grain offering as its memorial portion, and burn it on the altar, and afterwards shall make the woman drink the water. And when he has made her drink the water, then, if she has defiled herself and has broken faith with her husband, the water that brings the curse shall enter into her and cause bitter pain, and her womb shall swell, and her thigh shall fall away, and the woman shall become a curse among her people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive children. This is the law in cases of jealousy, when a wife, though under her husband's authority, goes astray and defiles herself, or when the spirit of jealousy comes over a man and he is jealous of his wife. Then he shall set the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall carry out for her all this law. The man shall be free from iniquity, but the woman shall bear her iniquity.
Fascinating.
Hmm.
Or is that 22? Doesn't have any notes
Test
on that. It
suspect.
does say unbinding the hair is an act of shaming. But it doesn't really dive into the thighs falling away, like what that refers to.
Well, there is 5:11 through 31. Yeah, it's just diving into. It's basically like a um, like is she like a way to test if they're lying or telling the truth.
Right. I'm gonna Google it real quick. Quick Google search.
Yeah, it says uh drink water containing dust from the floor of the tabernacle and accept a curse against herself that her womb swell and her thigh fall away. If she is guilty, if she is guilty. It is not clear exactly what this threat means, but it could be a threat of a miscarriage. Ultimately, though, the guilty wife is threatened with childlessness, a catastrophe in Bible times, whereas the innocent is assured she shall be free and shall conceive children. So yeah, it seems to me like the swelling of the womb is more of like a. It does sound like bloating, but it could be more so of like she can't bear any more children.
Yeah, so I found a forum. This guy posted it. Who knows how accurate this is? His name is Brian Stoffringen. And then dove into the different translations and listed them here. So, and he gave like a translation of a bunch of different Bibles. So the NET makes your thighs fall away and your abdomen swell. The CEB induces a miscarriage and your womb discharges. CEV, never be able to give birth to a child. ESV, which is what we're reading, make your thigh fall away and your body swell. GNT, cause your genital organs to shrink and your stomach to swell up. LEB, making your hip fall away and your stomach swollen. NIV, make your womb miscarry and your abdomen swell. NRSV, make your uterus drop and your womb discharge. So something along the lines of like not being able to bear kids anymore, I would say.
Or like if she did sleep with a man and she got pregnant, then she would miscarry. Right. I think that would be the purpose of that. Like, you know what I mean? If she slept with another man that wasn't her husband and they ended up conceiving a child.
Right. I would assume because there was only one or two translations that talk about the miscarriage on that one. That's the CEB and the NIV. All the other ones are talking about uterus fall, genital organs to shrink, never be able to give birth to a child, uterus drop.
Yeah, see, like this type of stuff to dissect it, it would be interesting to go back to like the original text
Right.
and find out like what like directly like what the Hebrew words directly translate into versus what
Right.
is just
Because
put
also
here.
the term miscarriage here I don't like it's not saying that she's pregnant anywhere in these verses. You know what I mean?
Right.
It
But
seems
it
like
could be
more
that if they conceive, that's what
right,
happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like it basically takes away the possibility of her having that child if one was conceived
right,
or having any more children moving forward because she did this, she cheated on her husband.
right. It's giving her some sort of disease, making it unable to bear a child, essentially.
Right, right. That's what it seems like to me.
I'm over here like skinny legged, bloat belly.
So, but yeah, like the thigh fall away type of stuff, that could just be like you getting skinny.
Right. It sounds like a disease, honestly. Like your
It
thigh falls
does.
away,
Yeah.
like the beginning of herpes
Yeah.
from sleeping around.
Yep.
Interesting. I don't know. Weird verse, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is interesting.
It is also just fascinating how like it is still touching on the psyche of like human culture, even things that happen today. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah,
a man getting
jealousy.
jealous of his woman, even if she didn't do anything,
Right.
and how it can cause issues, and then vice versa if the woman goes and cheats. Obviously, that's going to cause issues.
Right.
But it makes sure to clarify too about the man being jealous, even if she
Right.
didn't do anything.
Right.
Quite fascinating.
Yeah. Bottom line is husbands and wives don't cheat on each other.
Yeah,
Okay.
no joke. You don't want your thighs falling away.
Yeah. Right. One thing that I was trying to remember what it was. Let me go back up to the top. Oh yeah, it was about the leprous people. So command the people of Israel is verse 2. Command the people of Israel that they put out of the camp everyone who is leprous or has a discharge, and everyone who is unclean through the contact of the dead. It's like I know we've talked about this. Like, do you think God did this because they're unclean and he can't be close to them? Or did God tell this to the people because they were freaking out about them having diseases and stuff? Because I know we read, we didn't read it actually, but you said that you read it was in like what was it in Jeremiah or something like that,
Hmm.
that God said like I didn't care about all those laws, I just gave them to you because y'all were worried about that kind of stuff. He's like all I wanted you to do was listen to me.
Right. Yeah. It didn't really clarify that that's why he gave the laws. It just pretty much flat out said, like, I didn't write to you back in the time of Moses concerning all these like laws and everything. But the point was just to like listen to me. It's like I gave you the 10 Commandments. That was the point.
Mm,
Right. And that was something that I gathered was like that's why he gave the law, is because God does give the like what the heart wants essentially. And
mhm.
these people were going after and like worshiping to Baal, or not Baal, but like the golden calf. That was maybe like a symbolism of Baal. But
Yeah.
like when Moses was gone, they were like, "Oh, well, we need to sacrifice something because God's done us this great honor, so we need to build an altar and go sacrifice," even though God had already given instructions on how to do that. So they just went out and did it in their own way. And God's like, "You stupid people." So it would make sense
Yeah.
that like if they're gonna like their heart desires to go sacrifice something, God's like, fine, whatever, just do it in my way. That was kind of my reasoning behind it,
Yeah, that makes sense.
based off of that verse in Jeremiah.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit of both though, because like there's definitely like something going on here, like with like the discharge and like leprous diseases. Because like if you have a leprous person, it's like very, very contagious. You just touch
Mm,
them, you get it as well. So
mm,
it's also not just keeping them clean, but like it's literally keeping them healthy. It's stopping them from getting leprous diseases, you know?
right, right.
So it was kind of like doctor's orders before doctors were like a true thing, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it seems like there's like a few different layers to it, at least.
Yeah,
You know, and this is also Moses telling them all these things that God had commanded him to do, you know?
right. Hmm.
So, and Moses did do a lot of things too that were not directly told from God, like with splitting up the authority. Like that was told to him by his father-in-law, But
Right.
this is what Moses is speaking to the people, saying that God had told him to do.
Yeah.
How to set up this kingdom, essentially. I don't know. I honestly have no clue, but those are my best deductive reasonings, at least.
That makes sense, though. Well, 6.
Number 6. The Nazarite Vow. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, and say to them, when either a man or a woman makes a special vow, the vow of a Nazarite, to separate himself to the Lord, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink. He shall drink no vinegar made from wine or strong drink, or shall not drink any juice of grapes or eat grapes, fresh or dried. All the days of his separation, he shall eat nothing that is produced by the grapevine, not even the seeds or the skins. All the days of his vow of separation, no razor shall touch his head, until the time is completed for which he separates himself to the Lord, which he shall be holy. He shall let the locks of hair on his head grow long, and the days that he separates himself to the Lord, he shall not go near a dead body. Not even for his father or for his mother, for his brother or sister, if they die, shall he make himself unclean, because his separation to God is on his head. All the days of his separation, he is holy to the Lord. If any man dies very suddenly beside him, and he defiles his consecrated head, then he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day he shall shave it. On the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons to the priest to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the priest shall offer one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, and make atonement for him because he sinned by reason of the dead body. And he shall consecrate his head that same day, and separate himself to the Lord for the days of his separation, and bring a male lamb, a year old, for a guilt offering. But the previous period shall be void, because his separation was defiled. And this is the law for the Nazarite. When the time of his separation has been completed, he shall be brought to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and he shall bring his gift to the Lord, 1 male lamb, a year old, without blemish, for a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb, a year old, without blemish, as a sin offering, and 1 ram without blemish, as a peace offering, and a basket of unleavened bread, loaves of fine flour mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers smeared with oil, and their grain offering and their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before the Lord, and offer his sin offering and his burnt offering, and he shall offer the ram as a sacrifice of peace offering to the Lord, with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer also its grain offering and its drink offering. And the Nazarite shall save his consecrated head at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and shall take the hair from his consecrated head and put it on the fire that is under the sacrifice of the peace offering. And the priest shall take the shoulder of the ram when it is boiled, and 1 of the unleavened loaf out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them on the hands of the Nazarite after he has shaved the hair of his consecration. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. They are a holy portion for the priest, together with the breast that is waved and the thigh that is contributed. And after the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite. But if he vows an offering to the Lord above his Nazarite vow, as he can afford in exact accordance with the vow that he takes, then he shall do in addition to the law of the Nazarite. Aaron's blessing. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, Thus you shall bless the people of Israel. You shall say to them, The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So shall they put my name upon the people of Israel, and I will bless them.
Got anything?
No, it seems kind of weird. That's about it.
Yep.
It's kind of weird how it's honoring to the Lord to separate himself to the Lord, Maybe like separate, is that saying like separate them, like them from the other people to get closer to the Lord, or is it saying like actually separate himself from the Lord?
Probably separate himself from the other people, right?
Right.
Because they're shaving their heads. The other people didn't have to shave their heads.
Right. Only at the end at the consecration that they shave their heads, right? Because before that they had to grow it out.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up because that's what our service was about for church today. Um, was about how we should separate ourselves from like common society, like how we need to like break the mold essentially, like be different. Like it's okay to be different. You know what I mean? Everyone nowadays wants to be liked, wants to be like each other. They want to get along and, make friends and stuff like that, but doing it in a way where it's like very worldly stuff. And I think it's important to separate ourselves. No, is it ready? Okay, we'll wrap things up. Um, but yeah, essentially that's what it was about. And I thought it was really interesting because, he's saying like it's okay to be different, like
Totally.
we don't have to, try to be like each other or try to be like what the world wants us to be, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a very good message. And the guy who preached this morning wasn't our typical pastor. He was a guy that I hadn't seen before, but apparently he's like a comedian and he does like what is it, PG comedy.
Mm.
So it was pretty good though. It was a really good message. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess it is kind of like the prelude to like fasting, essentially, because that's what you're doing in fasting. You're giving up like food to get closer to God, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the Nazarite vow is essentially removing themselves from both food and people, it sounds like, or dead
Right.
people at least. Doesn't really, I think,
Yeah, we
talk
can
about not being able to go through by people. Nazarites were the most dedicated lay people in the Old Testament. Samson, Samuel, and John the Baptist were lifelong Nazarites, but usually a person took a vow to become a Nazarite for only a specific period of time.
mm,
Ah, okay, right. So that's why Samson never cut his hair, and that's why he had like the powers of the Holy Spirit running through him, is because he followed these Nazarite vows until he didn't, at least.
mm. Well, yeah, it's interesting too. Like I saw this, there's this one guy, I don't know his name. He's definitely well versed on the Bible, but he was saying that what's that cloth called? I forgot. The cloth that has like Jesus's face on it.
Oh, the Shroud of Turin.
Yeah, the shroud of Turin. He was talking about that shroud. And he was like, there's no way that could have been Jesus because Jesus was a Nazarite and they shaved their heads. And I was like, mm, I don't know. This kind of clarifies that for me.
No, it's only shaving the head at the end of the vow, or if they have to get reconsecrated. Right?
Right.
That's what we just read. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the vow is to not shave your head, is to let your hair, like, not let a razor touch your head.
Right.
Unless you come into contact with the dead body and like re-up on your vows, essentially, then you have to like restart over, rededicate yourself as a
Mm,
Nazarite all over again. Yeah, Nazarites and uncleanliness. Death was a source of severe uncleanliness, and contact with death compromised the Nazarite status. It had to be redeemed by an offering, 3 sacrifices, the sin, burnt, and guilt offerings, all over again. Oh, and by starting the period of the Nazarite vow all over again, the previous period shall be void. It is probably the issue of uncleanliness that prompts the inclusion of the laws on the Nazarite at this point in the book.
mm.
And then he wears his separation to God on his head when he shaves. Fascinating.
The word here translated separation in Hebrew is nezer, is also used of the high priest's crown. Both the priestly crown and the Nazarites' uncut hair reminded other people of their dedication to God's service. In this way, the dedication of the Nazarites was a challenge to every Israelite to follow the Lord wholeheartedly. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, so he shaves his head at the end of the vow. By burning the hair, he symbolically gave himself to God. Hmm, interesting. That still kind of clarified things for me as far as what that guy said, though.
And no, he's wrong.
Yeah, wrong. And I kind of had like a hunch. I was like, I don't think you. I don't. I think you're like misinterpreting something here or something.
Biblical
But
literature.
although
Yeah.
we don't know, like these are just people who are like probably like historians who have a little bit more detail on the history of Nazarites, right?
Right.
So, but who's to say that they're not wrong? You know
Well,
what
I
I
mean,
mean? Like,
Jesus also drank wine,
right?
which is not allowed. Oh, it
Right.
actually it does say at this there's a certain time where they can drink again. So what does that say?
Hmm.
And after that, the Nazarite may drink wine. Okay.
After what?
It's the whole thing, and this is the law for the Nazarite, starting in 13, all the way down to verse 20. So it's after the shaving of the head at the tent of meeting, after all the offerings, the sin offering, the peace offering.
Okay, so after the vow is completed.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's like preparation that they have to do all these things before the vow. And then once the vow happens, they get a little bit of their freedom back, but they're still under a pretty strict like
Yeah.
guideline. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, dinner's ready for me, so I do have to get going. We got started a little late anyway, but we made some good progress. I mean, we got through 6 chapters, so
Yeah. No, pretty good.
yeah, not bad at all.
Yep. Man, this Old Testament stuff is fascinating. I will say,
It is.
I thought Numbers was going to be worse. I mean, I think I read through it a long, long time ago, and I like very much so just grazed through it. Like out of all the books in the Bible, I know that this is like one of the most boring. So, um, I did not pay it much mind. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting
Well,
to go through it again with like a new mindset.
right. Yeah, and we'll find a way to make it interesting, knowing us.
That's right. Yeah. All
So,
right, dude.
yeah,
Well,
we
do you
wanna,
want to conclude in prayer?
yeah. You want me to do it?
I don't care. Yeah.
Lord God, thank you for this fellowship today. Thank you for these lessons that we're learning. Please help us to understand these words in more context. Please open our eyes and maybe find some things down the road where some of this may be revealed to us in a little bit more detail. God, thank you for giving us this opportunity to praise your name, glorify you. Thank you for the sacrifice that you made of your son so we may be with you in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and or night. God bless.
God bless y'all. Don't forget, pray about it.
Oh, yeah.